George Kilpatrick, inspiration for the nation, celebrating people we feel good about. Well, coming up in about a month or so is the Central New York Women's Expo. Yes.
Yes, it is
Is it the
Central New
Black
York
Women's
Black
Expo?
Women's
That I was going to
Expo.
say.
Yes.
It's for the sisters. Joining us is Charlene Tarver. She's the president and CEO of the Women's Economic Institute. And we got a couple of things we got to do here today. We're going to also talk about, she is Black equity and excellence, y'all. And she'll talk about that as well. But talk to me about this expo, second year for Syracuse and Central New York. And it's going to be a lot of fun highlighting Black owned businesses owned by women and in a new location, bigger, better than ever. Talk to me, Charlene.
Yes. Well, first of all, thank you so much for the opportunity to be here. I'm always excited to sit with you, talk with you, and of course, to share our message with the community. This is the second year of the Expo, and we're going to be at the On Center this year. It's August 6th. And the Expo is actually in recognition of the National Black Women's Equal Pay Day. And so most people don't know what that means. Essentially, what it means is that there's a pay gap in this country. There's a wealth gap, wealth inequality, income insecurity, and income inequality. We've been talking about kind of this whole generational wealth building concept, but we don't talk enough about economic sustainability and pay equity and income equity. And so there is an actual national movement which recognizes that Black women are paid disproportionately less than their white male counterparts. And so that recognition and that day just involves a whole lot of lobbying our governors, our elected officials, and really urging them to pay women equally for the work that they're doing. And Black women are earning anywhere from 58 to maybe 67 cents for every dollar that's earned by their white male counterpart. And we know that Black women are unemployed, underemployed, and employed at poverty level wages. And so part of what the Expo does is it creates more awareness around the need to support Black women employees and in the workplace, but also to support Black women who have chosen to take that leap or that step into entrepreneurism. So for us, it's all about galvanizing folks who are interested in selling products and reaching the Black marketplace. The Expo is designed for the entire family. We have both Black male and female vendors. And so you're going to see panelists, entertainment, there's fashion. We'll have some amazingly dynamic vendors that will be there. We may have also a couple of surprises for the Expo. So we're really excited about it.
It's August 6th. It's a Saturday, all day. And what are some of the panels? So how do people register? How do people get involved? What's the cost of attending? All of that good stuff.
All that good stuff. So the Expo will run from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. It is free and open to the public. And in order to we are asking that you register. So if you go right on to our website, it will allow you to register right on our homepage. So you can go to www.women's, that's plural, WOMENS, economic, ECONOMIC, institute.com. So www.womenseconomicinstitute.com. Go right on the home page and scroll down. It will allow you to register. You can get your free tickets, free. Again, free and open to the public. And then we also have a special evening this year because we're going to have a special guest. We have an international recording artist who will be joining us for a VIP evening at the On Center. And that is none other. Should I say who it is?
Yes, please.
Should I say? You sure?
Yes.
Secret? So it is the phenomenal CeCe Peniston.
Oh my gosh.
Yes. So we're really excited
CeCe.
about Miss Peniston joining us.
Finally, right?
Finally. Yes, she is finally coming to Syracuse. So
love it.
CeCe will be joining us in the evening. We have from 6 to 10, exclusively yours, an evening with CeCe Peniston. And she will also be joined by Jay White, who is an international saxophonist. So that'll be a great evening. And we're looking forward to folks getting their tickets. That portion of the day is ticketed. 6 to 10, the tickets are $50, and then we also have a VIP ticket. But you will be able to get that information online. Probably should have kept the secret a little bit longer.
No, that is good. Well, first of all, I was just listening to CC today because sometimes I need a little house. What you know
Okay.
about that? What you know about that, Charlene? What you know about
Oh,
that?
you would be surprised, honey. I have partied in my days. Yes, I have. So I wasn't always cerebral. I wasn't always
Ah!
cerebral. So yeah, I actually did a little bit of entertainment law back in my younger years, although I look like a baby now. But yeah, so Cece has been a longtime friend. She's been a client. She has been telling me forever that she's coming to Syracuse. So we're really excited to get her here. She's been a tremendous supporter of the Women's Economic Institute. And again, our message really is really all about how do we champion for BIPOC women and girls? How do we
Hmm.
create a space where they're able to live their best, brightest, fullest lives? And whether that is in making that decision to go into the workforce, or we're looking at some of our at-risk youth and our at-risk young adult population, how do we get them back into either an academic or a vocational environment? And then for women who are interested in entrepreneurism, what are some of the ways that we can support them, whether it's through putting together their business plans and financial projections, helping them better understand the marketplace and their customer demographic, really helping them to kind of dig deep and understand what the bigger visions are for their business, and putting together those strategic plans, their revenue generation plan, and then finding mentors and folks who can coach and really provide the level of empowerment and support that our Black women entrepreneurs need in order to be successful. And George, I would love to tell you that this is me creating the data. Unfortunately, it's not. Goldman Sachs came out in 2021 with a Black Womenomics report that said the playing field, we can attempt to level the playing field for Black women. And if we do that, that will significantly change the trajectory of Black communities. They noted that there is a significant digital divide in Black urban communities. Black women-owned businesses are less likely to even have a bank account. They're making somewhere around $28,000 a year, and they're establishing businesses at 6 times the national average. They're not getting access to loans through SBA and through some of those traditional private lending sources. And so being able to bring in some of our national corporate brands that say they're committed to diversity, equity, and inclusion, and they really want to work with and support BIPOC and Black women entrepreneurs, the Expo is a great opportunity for them to be able to do that. And so it is open to the community. If we have folks out there that are interested in sponsoring, we certainly would love the sponsorship. If you're interested in being a vendor, you're in upstate New York or central New York, there's still some limited opportunity, but you're going to have to go online and make sure that you register today because it's filling up pretty quickly.
This is work that you've been doing. Do you envision this in Syracuse being similar to what they do in New York at the Javits Center? I can't think of what that is called, but
Ooh, look at you. You just claiming my whole life, George. You're giving me life.
you know your boy know what's up.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, I think here in Central New York, we have some amazingly talented
Right,
entrepreneurs that are here. I am always surprised when I'm on Facebook and I see the things that people are creating, whether it's the event planners or
right.
some of our sisters that have beautiful, the cosmetologists and the beautiful products, the hair care products, skincare products, nail care lines, clothing lines. I mean, we have it all. Black women, let's just keep it real. We're dynamic. And
Yeah.
so being able to create a space where not only can we showcase the best and brightest of us, but we can also make sure that they have the support that they need in order to build and grow those businesses and then ultimately to scale them. And so one of the things that I want to always encourage our sisters to remember, sometimes you land in a position or you land in an opportunity by virtue of circumstances, right? So not all of
Mhm.
us are willingly going out and creating businesses. Some of us are creating businesses because unfortunately we're unemployed, underemployed, or we're employed at poverty level wages, irrespective of our levels of education. And so in situations like that, where you have this amazing skill, and then maybe you've created a beautiful skincare product or you've created a beautiful hair care line, what are some of the ways that we can work on getting those formulas patented and get you into the marketplace, right? I have been over the last probably 3.5 months working with Goldman Sachs. I've gone through their 10,000 small businesses, and I'm now currently in their Black in Business incubator. And let me just tell you, I am meeting dynamic sisters from all across the nation with amazing products and ideas. And so Syracuse is certainly a community that is ripe and that has that level of talent How can we harness that talent and really bring more attention to what's here in Central New York?
You recently held a series of events at your location in Syracuse, the Women's Economic Institute. Tell me about that, because a lot of people don't even know that you're there with the amazing thing that you're doing for women who are seeking to be entrepreneurs. Tell me
Yes.
about the actual institute that you're doing here in
The actual
Syracuse.
institute. So the institute right now is a 6,600 square foot space. We're over on the near west side in the Lincoln building. And that space is actually broken up in kind of into two kind of quadrants. There's the incubator, which serves our BIPOC women entrepreneurs. So if you are a small BIPOC woman-owned business and you are looking for an office space, we have spaces that we can sublet to you, preferably businesses that are 3 years or younger, that are more in startup phase. We want to bring you into the space, bring you into the office. You'll have your own office space. Each office comes equipped with a desk, with your bookshelf. There's a cabinet there for you to lock up, file cabinet to lock up your items. The suite is Wi-Fi accessible throughout. And so we want to bring you in, and then we want to immerse you into some of our in the classroom training programming that we're doing. So we do have an application process for the incubator. In order to qualify for an office or to sublet an office, you do have to, in fact, you have to be a part of the incubator. And so with the incubator, we're doing everything from your business plan to your strategic plan, looking at your marketing strategy, who your customer demographic is, your financial planning and projections, really thinking through kind of what makes you bankable, and then how do you navigate some of the challenges, really to build your business to a point where you're able to go out and get capital and have access to the resources and dollars that you need in order to be successful. So we have a great group of ladies that have gone through and are wrapping up our very first cohort, and our second cohort starts on August 20th. So if you're interested, give us a call. You can reach us at 315-551-2500. On the other side of the suite, we have community services. And so we have a few different partners we're working with. We're working with SUNY EOC, Syracuse University, and then also the Attain Lab and the County Office of Personnel. And we're offering programming in GED, ESL, Microsoft certification. We're working with Syracuse University on putting together some health and wellness programming. So really looking at some of the soft skills development. How do you de-escalate issues? How do you manage and resolve conflict, in the workplace? We're in a community where there's a lot of trauma. And so we recognize that there's a lot that women and girls have to go through, and really our community goes through. So how do we equip people with the tools that they need to be successful, even once they've secured a position, but not just the tools to manage kind of the exchanges and the communication, but also the technical skills. So if it's Microsoft certification, or if you're looking for a basic computer skill, we're able to offer that in our community services. We also have our professional closet, which offers professional clothing for women who are returning to work and looking for interview outfits. We have that. We have a small kids place. If mom needs to drop off her little one for maybe an hour to an hour and a half while she takes a class, and she could want to work on her resume, work on her interview skill, we will assist her with that. And as long as she's enrolled in the programming, she's able to take clothing. It's hers to take at no cost. And then our last feature there is our actual classroom. So the classroom is fully equipped to offer both in-person and virtual classes, and we use it kind of as a multi-purpose space. So we've had a few different organizations that have reached out about hosting events there. And the office is, I'm the last person to say it's a beautiful space, but that was the goal, to create something that was beautiful and warm, inviting, and very cultural. And so I think that's what we've tried to do. Did we do it? Did we accomplish it, George? Do you
I
think
think we
so?
did.
We
Yeah.
did. Okay,
Yeah.
good, good,
Yeah.
good. Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah. No, I think so. And let me ask you this. So now, so that's the Institute, the work you do there, and it's a beautiful space. Even if you don't qualify, go see it, because it's just
Come,
it's a
come
great.
and come and come and
It's
see the baby grand piano.
right. And the gravy that's in and of itself, okay. But August 6th, 10 to 4 at the On Center is the Black Women's Economic
It's the
Black
Expo,
Women's
the Central
Expo.
New York Black
Black
Women's
Women's
Expo.
Expo. Well, I can't put those two words together. The Central New York Black Women's Expo. Now, you're also a recipient of the Black Equity and Excellence Grant from our partners, the Central New York Community Foundation. What are you going to do with your grant?
Well, I will tell you that the Community Foundation has just been a great partner for us. They have been an amazing partner. And I've spoken with Peter Dunn and a number of folks on his staff. In addition to the grant that we received, one of their donors who has a donor advised fund there also reached out to provide some support to the Institute. And as you can imagine, as a very small nonprofit and a newer nonprofit, we certainly are in need of funding and resources and support. And so Peter has been a great ally for us. With the Black Excellence and Equity Fund, our goal is to really create a report that tells the story of BIPOC women and girls, but more specifically, Black women and girls on the South Side. And we've been gathering the data to really look at the levels of lead poisoning in our community. Of course, we're looking at kind of the heart failure rates, the quality of housing that people are living in, the unemployment rates. And so being able to kind of create that report to tell the narrative, to tell the story of the community, but then also not just to tell the story, to really look at how do we build a community or revitalize this community so that it is more economically sustainable. And that leads us into another program or another project that we're working on, George, and that is the Southside Renaissance Project. It is a 1.3 acre micro community, $17 million, 56 senior housing units. And then on the ground floor, because there are two separate structures, there is a retail incubator on one side, and then on the opposite side, there is an incubator for restaurants. These are BIPOC restaurateurs. There will be a commercial kitchen built into the space. We have a rooftop garden. We're all electric appliances and, bringing in the visual arts and really, again, beginning to build that sense of community, that sense of purpose and destination. And I think that when you see this building going up in this community, what that will do for our young people, how transformative it will be. I grew up on the South Side. I grew up on the South Side. I left here when I was 17 years old. I came back 33 years later so that I could really be a contributor in helping to revitalize and expand the growth of Syracuse and specifically the South Side.
So and so what does it mean to you to get that grant and to be able to do this work?
Well, I think what the grant means is that one, the Community Foundation is committed to supporting Black-led organizations. And I think that in and of itself is a significant statement for the Community Foundation to make. Two, it gives us the opportunity to partner with the foundation to be able to look at where there are needs within our communities, because oftentimes our communities are the ones that are last in line to get philanthropic dollars. And so if you look at Black-led organizations, less than 2% of them are we're getting less than 2%. Let me rephrase that. Less than 2% of the dollars that come from philanthropic organizations actually go to Black-led nonprofits. So there's a very small piece of the pie that actually comes to Black-led nonprofits. With that said, it allows us to be able to do the research that we want to do. It allows us to contribute to some of our other programming so that we're able to build out the incubator. We're able to actually bring in the quality of speakers, to put technology into the space, to be able to really champion for the community. And so there are a number of different ways that we're utilizing the dollars that have come in through the Community Foundation. But I think probably the third most important way we've used them is really to leverage other resources in the community. And so again, it's just a great partnership. It's wonderful to have the support and know that the Community Foundation is committed to Black-led causes and that they're receptive to the community, determining how we best see fit to really embrace and support our entrepreneurs and our community.
So you're doing policy, you're doing
I'm so happy you said policy, because I did not get to say that. I mean, if I had to tell you, if you asked me, what are the things that you really do as the Economic Institute, I'd tell you we do policy, workforce development, small business growth, and low-income affordable housing. A lot of times, George, people don't see the connection with housing. It's like, well, what are you doing with housing? How does that fit within that? Think about where people build wealth. They build it through home ownership.
Yeah.
Think about where people spend their resources in terms of their income. They spend it on their housing, right? And so we have folks in this country who are spending more than 60% of their income on housing because housing is not affordable. And in communities like our community, it's not enough to say we need affordable housing. We actually need low income housing. The project that we're building out is a low income housing tax credit project, which means a significant portion of those dollars are going to come from New York State. And so between my business, tax, and legal backgrounds, I've been able to put together an amazing group of folks, and we're really excited about moving forward with the project. We have a great architect. We've brought in some dynamic Black women into the project. We have some excellent engineers. So we're just looking forward to moving the project along, and we'll be able to report out soon to the community on kind of where we are within our next steps with the project. But for us, the affordable housing, again, I'm going to go back for a moment. When you think about housing, 50% of America's homeless population are people who look like you and me.
Yeah. And I wanted to give, people, you're saying BIPOC, for people that don't know what that means, Black, Indigenous, people of color. That is a BIPOC. Is, just there may have been one person when you said
there
BIPOC.
You go. Thank you. Thank you so much for putting that out there. It's Black and brown and Native people.
Yes.
And so, I mentioned that 50% of the homeless population is Black. Close to 50% of the public housing population is also Black. And so when we think about where we are as a people in this country in terms of housing is a significant issue for us. You cannot stabilize a neighborhood or a community without having affordable housing, quality housing, and quality neighborhoods where folks are able to access fresh fruits and vegetables, and they have the resources to be able to serve their community.
Charlene Tarver is the CEO of the Women's Economic Institute, but she's also inviting you to the Central New York Black Women's Expo.
Black Women's Expo,
August the 6th from 10 to 4. What's the website that people can find more information?
www.womenseconomicinstitute.com.
There we go. Charlene Tarver, Sisters Bad. She's doing some great things here in Central New York, and also one of the proud recipients of the Black Excellence and Equity Fund from our partners at the Central New York Community Foundation. I'm George Kilpatrick, inspiration for the nation.